Damn,
Look in the middle until it's done.
Mission confirmed. That's crazy.
You can find me on DoorDash, and hopefully you get me.
You rubbing that knee is nasty, nigga. That's nasty.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were acknowledging that you were of the elder race too, but you can find me at
The elder race. That's fuck. It's giving me everything I need. When Cyclops said, "Give them the forecast," I got wet. I did.
All right, Zelmay, you're under her. You're next.
Yes. I mean, chicken.
Wait a minute.
Yo.
Hey, yeah.
Welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast Sunday edition. Wanted to make sure we give as much time as possible for people to watch.
Zelman, mute up because you got your whole window down.
It's fine. You got it blowing in the wind. But either way, yeah, cool. I cannot do this wonderful review and this wonderful show alone. So I am joined by a colorful crew of collective people. First and foremost, we have the amazing Spider Cam, the villain himself from the Blood Cartel, joining us.
Yes, sir. Let's go for 10 years of Finn Balor tonight. Get the dub over the Wallahi. So, summer scan.
And then, of course, we are joined by a villainess, aka the one catching hoes like pocket monsters. Is of course Shigo Moonbeam herself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You already know Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam everywhere. Anime shit talker, real life shit talker, debaucherous, horror on occasion. You know, you already know. Whatever you think about me, I'm that. Whatever you don't think about me, I'm also that because I don't care. But yeah, I'm super excited today because we're
very ambiguous, very eager.
I got my pocket, my popcorn bucket.
And of course,
yeah,
and we are joined by the man on the move for the nice Spidey birthday weekend, Zelmay, with his hand open in the window.
What's Zam? Let's get to it. Y'all know I gotta defeat all the little weird non-X-Men reading people who want everybody to be the grandest of heroes in Superman.
Well, we're gonna get it cracking. First and foremost, before we dive into full movie review, I will give the movie its props. Also, we are joined by the one and only Unico Williams, aka Do You Hear Him? We do see him now. But I do want to make sure to give the movie its glaze that it does rightfully deserve, because the movie had the biggest first day in box office history. As of right now, it is trending to be the second biggest opening weekend movie in history, actually, with over 900 million already made on the movie off of 3 days of watching. And the only thing that it is behind is Avengers Endgame, which made 1.2 billion for its first opening weekend. So this movie is doing an amazing amount of money made, of money work, everything. It's literally killing records. Really good reviews for most people across the board. Apparently there is no Spider-Man fatigue. So I wanted to make sure to give it its props. It is doing wonderfully as it comes to the money that is being made. As far as the review goes, we will warn you before we get started. This is a spoiler review. This is not spoiler free. We will tell everything about the movie. I ain't holding crap back. I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't holding back no secrets. I ain't holding back no thoughts or nothing. This will be.
What about the rule, Marjorie? You had to wait a week. What are you talking about?
I don't care.
Wow.
I'll be real. You want to wait?
Keep in mind, just put it in your little Rolodex in the back of your brain.
You bookmark this, come back to this after you done seen it, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, but I ain't holding nothing back. First and foremost, shout out to everybody. This is Spider-Man, I'm finna say No Way Home, brand new day review. And the movie overall had a few surprises, just a lot of things across the board with it. Most, I will say, of the things you see in the trailer are most of the surprises in the movie. There's not really a lot of extra surprises or cameos outside of maybe a couple of what you already see in the trailer. So it's not a lot of major surprises and things. Although we will go ahead and just get this out the way when we talk about the spoiler or whatever. The bitch is Jean Grey. Like it ain't no sense of holding it. She's Jean Grey. Like she is. Shout out. She did a very good job as Jean, but all the expectations are she's Jean. Like it is, and it's hard to say. You can say she was the primary antagonist for most of the movie, but she's not really the antagonist by the end of it. So, but she does a really good job as Jean. I ain't gonna hold you. Jean was a bitch in this movie. I can't even lie about it. Like she was a bitch in this movie. Like some of it's understandable, but dang, she went far in a lot of it. But overall, the movie's great. It's a little slow in the first half of it. The second half really picks up on all of the action and everything. But the movie just gives a really good tone, focusing on Peter's emotional side, which is what a lot of this movie is based off of, like his struggle over the last 4 years of basically being isolated from anybody that's ever known him, being isolated from anybody. His only, I don't even want to call him a friend right yet. Frank wasn't really his friend. He just met Frank a couple of times. But otherwise, a lot of the movie, they had a lot of moments and just having a lot of struggle about Peter and his struggles throughout the movie and things. The movie starts, I'm giving like a rough synopsis so you can understand when people give their review about it. But it starts off with a bit of a struggle with Peter being isolated, having to see MJ and Ned move on with their lives. He's basically been cyber stalking them because he's watching a lot of Ned's stories about their life and their nature while he's being alone. And he accidentally sees Ned in the store, follows him to his house, sees MJ with a new boyfriend, and essentially this is a trigger for his power starting to go out of control. And so they use that as a means to sort of push the emotional baggage and his powers going out of control, along with Jean causing trouble throughout the movie and having to deal with all that. And then Frank comes in, and it's a lot of different things that go on in the movie. Solid ending with the movie with the emotional tone and everything, but I'm just giving like a little bit of a rough synopsis with stuff. And the reason why Jean is doing some really dickish stuff is because Damage Control, which is known from one of the earlier movies, kidnapped her sister. I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't even know that bitch had a sister. I follow comics. I don't follow comics much. I didn't even realize she had a sister.
Murdered her sister.
I want to say something about that because I went back and rewatched our first episode, and like it drove me insane in the theater when I found out that she was Jean, because I like to think that this panel is a very, very diverse, knowledgeable, intellectual group of characters that love different forms of media, especially nerd culture. And the fact that none of us got it like pissed me off. But then I was thinking about the fact that, the typical iteration that you always talk about of Jean Grey, the origin story, it has something to do with her hurting her family or something like that. One of the things that they've always led with, which is something funny because I just mentioned how much it always annoyed me, was that they always made her seem so weak because of her fear and all of this stuff of like, hurting others, not being able to control her power and this and that. But this is an actual, it's a version of an actual origin story that she has. But this is the first time that we've ever seen it. We haven't even seen this version in animated series. So I think it made perfect sense that we didn't get Jean, because if we got the iteration that we were all thinking about, she's way too powerful and way too unstable before she meets Charles. So that's why it didn't make sense to us to have her in there, because then she turns into the big villain. And why would you introduce that into a Spidey movie? But changing the origin story makes sense. But I'm going to be honest, with this particular origin story, I didn't feel as connected as her, like the origin story that we use the most. That's probably the only negative I actually have about this movie, is that I didn't feel like I gave as much of a shit about Jean Grey as I have my whole life as an X-Men fan and a comic reader.
My only thing in response to that is for me, I can only speak for me. It wasn't that I didn't think she was Jean. It was just I didn't think Marvel would be just so blatantly obvious. But in other words, they just didn't really give a fuck. They're like, look, y'all, she can be Jean. Y'all can realize that they can really change face. Y'all can come watch this movie.
But that's why they didn't give a shit, because they knew that that throwing out, even if we figured out Jean, we couldn't figure out how they were going to put her in because we rarely, like, this is literally only one origin story. She has multiple others or whatever, but you know, the one about her, like a childhood incident or whatever, where it's just her, is way more prevalent in her origin stories. So once you figure it out, then you're like, oh, okay, but even then, they don't show us in a trailer like a sister or anything, so there was no way to know that that's what they were trying to do with this.
Yeah, we figured they were gonna host stuff back. And I will be fair, when it comes to the cameos of other people that they did show that people knew, like, look, I'm sorry, Tombstone fans, my man was there for about 10 seconds. Like you got him for about 10 seconds, it was over with. Like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, big part.
Let's be real, he would have called Spider-Man a monkey, like if he would have been
all you got. Like, he was here for about 10 seconds, it was over.
Started calling them N-words and monkeys and shit.
Like, Scorpion got his view and he got his little fight in at least a couple times. So like, okay, cool, you got like a couple people. But for the most part, like, hey, the cameos of the lesser villains, you know, they were just there mostly as filler, you know, to sort of throw people off of the actual.
I like how they did it though.
So
because
yeah, like,
normally I feel like my only problem with the X-Men movies that I believe are not on par, aka Spider-Man 3 or whatever, is Spider-Man always, like, well, Marvel in general, trying to do too much, like having to have 30,000 villains and different villains in a movie and then them all be mid. And so I like that they gave us like the nostalgia. They gave us these little things that, okay, these aren't the big villains, but it also shows how much Spidey has evolved from the last time we saw him. So I like the way that they did that. I felt like it was good for nostalgia and fan service. I felt like it worked well with the story. And then it was also great because it misled a lot of the fans when it came to the trailer on who the villain was going to be.
Because I know a lot of people were wondering, like, well, you know, they announced Tombstone as a part of the movie. Why they didn't say anything about him? Because he was going to only be there for 10 seconds. Scorpion, are we going to get more from Scorpion? Whatever, no. But I will say they did do the main people right. Like Frank was wonderful in the movie. Hulk was everything people was hoping that it was, like the whole fight scene, Savage Hulk coming out and everything.
Thunderclap is back. We have not seen Thunderclap since Edward Norton's Hulk.
Like, Hulk was what you wanted him to be in the movie. He's not. Yeah. They did not disrespect him. The whole interaction between him and Spider-Man was great.
OG outfit. There's OG short and shit. Come on.
The purple pants.
They did right. They did right with Hulk by how they did Hulk in the movie, the whole scenes and everything.
I really like how they did Punisher. I'm actually really disappointed in myself that I have not actually watched the Punisher show. But I've loved him since The Walking Dead. I've loved him since The Walking Dead. So those things that he's in, I watch. And I'm really hoping that they're itching towards, by bringing him in and having this, that we're going to get, if they must give us an MCU show, like they love shoving down our throat, give us Spidey and Punisher buddy cop style.
The only thing I can say is that Punisher is the only reason this movie is above PG-13. If Punisher wasn't in this movie would have been for children. Like, he's the only reason, and he doesn't hold back. Some people was like, oh, Frank ain't not himself. I'm like, Frank was 100% himself in this movie. He was cussing up a storm. He was more than willing to put people in the ground. Like, they did not really change Frank as far as what we've seen in the MCU. So it confused me when people were complaining like, oh, Frank didn't tone down. He's toned down. He tried to. And I will say, before I get to the next part,
I was definitely about to spoil it. Like, come on, bro.
Spoil it because I told people I don't care. I'm gonna spoil everything. Like, when it comes to the end of the movie, Frank, the problem that comes is, let me make sure I got the pictures because some of the pictures are missing with them. But the problem that comes for the movie is that the antagonist, which is Damage Control, because they kidnapped Jean's sister, Jean essentially finds it out and she snaps and she goes crazy. And because she goes crazy, a good chunk of the city becomes frozen by her telekinetic abilities. So, because Spider-Man and Frank have different ideologies, they come up with two different ideology things. I'm just rubbed it in the nutshell. Frank, like, I'm gonna shoot her because she needs to go, and we're not gonna sit here and try to be nice and all the other bullshit or whatever. And Spider-Man's like, no, try to get through to her and everything. So their ideologies end up clashing. I'll keep some parts of the movie.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
Yeah, like they end up clashing. So Spider-Man does get through to Jean. He does, but Frank, because Frank doesn't realize that he's gotten through to her, still tries to shoot her, which leads to Spider-Man taking the bullet for her. And, then you have a whole emotional part where the city comes together for him and everything. They praying for him and all that kind of stuff while Spidey's recovering in the hospital. Jean even does the thing of using her powers to keep him alive and breathing and things. But some people were confused.
Yeah, she breathed for him, which I thought was a dope use of her power to breathe for somebody.
And this
make
is
sure their
comic book
breath don't
accurate.
stop.
Jean can do this. Jean can do this. This is comic book accurate. The bitch can put herself back together. She can actually do this. So this is not crazy that people were confused that Jean could do this. She could do this. But either way, it got through to it, and he ends up surviving. And Frank has a couple of funny moments at the end of the movie. So it works. The whole movie is good and things of that nature. There's some parts, and it's basically some people are viewing this as this is a movie that they use to sort of springboard into the mutant saga, which it is to an extent. It's not a bad thing about it though. They do use this a bit to sort of pray because the main antagonist is somebody that's known to hate mutants, and he's in the movie, and they'll just poop him afterwards. But I do got a picture of him. Like him, this is his fault. Like it's him. Like he's the main reason.
He the problem.
And they do say at the end of the movie that he is missing, but he is somebody that is I just forgot his name, but he is known to be a hater of mutants and stuff. So they are using this as a mutant saga. But I will give it to Miss Ebony Moonbeam for the first part because there is a specific part that I left out that I did not talk about. That is probably the most fucked up thing about the movie and possibly the most screwed up thing that Jean does to Peter, in which I'm like, I wouldn't have forgiven
her.
I am sorry.
That was so fucking Sakura of Jean Grey. It killed me. I was like, this right here is why people dislike Sakura. Like, how dare you? Like, we fought after all of the shit that, and don't get me wrong, Spidey he's not special.
Hold on. Time out. I do have to explain for people that watch it. So what happens in this movie is
I'm gonna explain it.
I thought you were just gonna yap about it.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it. I'm just saying, I'm giving like fair warning. Spider-Man is not necessarily special. Every superhero in Marvel has some type of tragic some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like back to back on Spidey. And so basically he is starting to run into different people that he's known in the past, hence Ned, Zendaya, everybody, blah, 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 blah. So then basically we find out that the bad person, which we don't know at this point who it is after Zendaya. So he goes to try and make sure that MJ is all right and says, we got to go somewhere. They fly around. They're having their OG moment. She says, who are you? I feel like we know each other. We get the nostalgic half mask up kiss. The only thing that would have made it better if it was raining and the nigga was upside down. But he was not. But still, iconic moment. And then we're like, oh my gosh, is love gonna prevail? True love's kiss. Disney, screw you because y'all did this to us, telling us that was realistic. It's not. Okay. And so then after all of that, and we think we're gonna have a moment or whatever, then the whole fucking tone changes, and you find out that is actually, what you find out later on, is Jean Grey in pretending to be her or whatever, has this whole emotional moment, basically calls him, basically cringe, because that moment is like, would be a cringy moment for this version of MJ. And shit, you watch this man's despair, like from the top of his head to the very bottom of his tippy toes. You literally watch the despair rush over him. And she's talking shit.
Time out. When she's hugging him and she's like, touch her, Peter. Go ahead, feel
yes. How much you love her, how much you've missed her. It's crazy that you love her because you would know that MJ would think this is disgusting. And I was like, hey, yo, you don't even have to be like that. Peter didn't even do nothing to you to get that type of. And first off, y'all gonna see. So they do the freeze thing differently in this movie, and it bothered me at first, but when you get that ripple effect where she's just hopping left and right, that shit was insane.
Yeah, her body hopping is crazy.
No, that was creepy. Like, it turned slightly into a horror movie right then or whatever. Like the body contortions, the slapping in and out or whatever, like the energy was high. I gotta say, it was great.
Oh,
The
boy.
movie was good,
Yeah,
but
so-
yeah, that scene right there, like when you talk about since we're spoiling things, on top of breaking his fucking heart, then Jean Grey throws fucking Zendaya's body off a fucking building in very much Spider-Man fashion to see if we're gonna be able to catch her and save her. It was giving Andrew Garfield, Gwen Stacy, and he did that intentionally. And y'all like trauma.
Yeah, they do that. And it's, throughout the movie, they do a lot of moments that are really reminiscent of some
And not
comic
to
book
other
covers
movies.
from other movies and comic book covers, like the Scorpion hit is from a comic book cover. There's a bunch of different moments.
Punisher carrying Spider-Man.
So like they pull a lot of comic nostalgia, not just regular comic nostalgia for a lot of people. But that's a good synopsis of the most of things of the movie. So matter of fact, I would be nice, give Miss Ebony Moonbeam your
No, I
review.
want to go first. You
Okay.
can go around. I've talked already. You can
All
come
right,
back.
Unico Williams, because you have been quiet, we have given you a nice chance.
Yeah,
Your
thank you.
review of the movie, your thoughts, and you can give a score of the movie by the end. What are your thoughts of the movie?
My thoughts on the movie. Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing all right. I just couldn't find a flow to pop in there. Y'all was already
Don't worry,
on it, so
I got you.
that's all good. I actually have a whole outline here, and I think that it's not very conducive to time, as it pertains to probably watching SmackDown versus Raw tonight. So
Well, the only person that's gonna be super effective is the Spider Cam, but like I can watch it on other means. So just don't take up 10 minutes on a full outline, but you can give your thoughts of the movie and your review and a number.
I think I'll do it like this. So my quick synopsis of the movie was, first off, I got a shout out to the marketing team because the trailer really just didn't tell us exactly what was going to happen. I did not know that we was about to go against Armando Waller, aka Amanda Waller's multiverse MCU twin. I didn't know that's what the case was going to be, but that happened. But nobody guessed that, so that was really good. They gave us little sprinkles and stuff, but we didn't know that this was going to be what this movie was exactly going to be about. Everybody was speculating, like, is this going to be about the hand, blah blah blah, all that type of stuff. I thought that the trailer and all that type of stuff was great. Mostly what I liked most about this movie was the fact that it was a very grounded Spider-Man standalone type of movie, where it didn't need to be leading up to Doom. It didn't need to be bro. I've been by myself for 4 years. The love of my life and my best friend is going on about their life without, as if I never existed. I know that they exist. I feel a type of way. That's the kind of Peter Parker I love. I'm glad they took him away from the kid Avenger Spider-Man that he used to be. So that was very good for me. So the core theme of it was just adult Peter Parker just carrying the weight of the world on him by himself and just making it work. The quips and stuff were still there. That was still hilarious for me. I got to give a big shout out to the video game homage in regard as it pertains to the combat on the rooftops. Nobody falls off the roof. You get way back up there. That was cool. I like that. And some of the combos look like they came from there. And also my favorite line of all time: if you help one person, you help everyone. And that we got that from Marvel Spider-Man, the Feast place that Aunt May carries on. So that was dope that they interpret that. They say that Tom Holland actually got a lot of inspiration and whatnot from playing that game often. So that was pretty dope. And the one thing that I definitely would want to leave to people is like, y'all, like all my comic book nerds out there, enthusiasts and stuff, stop trying to link every fucking thing all the time, okay? Stop trying to link everything to this is going to be that, and that's going to lead to this, and this is going to be, bruh.
Oh, well,
he's just Spider-Man. He's just Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? He's just a movie. And that's what I enjoy most about this movie. Like, and I think that's what I think that Marvel is getting that ideal nowadays. Is like, I think the Avengers, as it's the beginning of the Avengers, I think it spoiled us because we spent so many years like this is leading up to this guy, this big bad Thanos. And now it's like, no, I'm Spider-Man, and I be just living my life. Not everything is a planetary threat all the time. Which we all know that Jean can be. She's actually a universal threat in the right hands. But Yeah, man, I truly enjoyed this. This is my favorite iteration of Spider-Man. I love Toby. I enjoy what he was, but I think that they allowed for Tom Holland. They let this Spider-Man grow up a bit and go on his own path. Basically, it felt like New York City was his to protect. Damn the Avengers. And I enjoyed it. I think that Tom Holland's definitely putting himself in the conversation for what it is to be Spider-Man.
A great
and Peter Parker. And a great
Can we
Peter
talk
Parker.
about how jacked this man looked in this movie? Like, and when his senses took over, like when he, finally becomes one. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he looked bigger.
Super Saiyan Spider was great for me. I like that.
Against the hand, he when he finally accepts that he's both, he gets bigger. Like, go back when you watch it again, like it's like he's fully evolved. It was crazy.
It's given Naruto and Nine Tails, like, if we just accept each other.
I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me if they take some inspiration from anime and manga. Usually shonen is basically the superhero genre in a lot of ways.
This movie does focus it focuses a lot on Peter having to accept the way his life is now and what he does and doesn't need, because a lot of the movie was him trying to stay solo away from everybody and just live in isolation, and then the mental taxing that was having on him, and just interacting with Ned once sparked so much crap happening to him in his body and stuff, and him having to realize, like, yeah, I am Spider-Man and stuff, but also, yeah, I do need people and human interaction. Like, just some parts of that is just needed. But
I want no Spider Cam stuff. Let Spider Cam go. He got a show, man.
He hasn't seen it. He's here to just basically watch. I don't know if he wants to speak of anything, but yeah.
You ain't even seen the movie.
You will never.
You can't see Spider Cam. You ain't seen the movie,
motherfucker, ever.
It was sold out for the last 4 days.
Somebody else know.
You should have got him last week. Your name is Spider Cam.
Leave the Spider Cam be.
All I'm saying is been sold out for the last 4 days, and
he wants to be respectful and go to the movies and watch it. I respect.
And I watched it on Twitter. Summer scams here, so that was my weekend and whatever.
I want to honor the amazing Spider Cam.
Why was the hand in the movie? That's all I want to know.
The hand was in the movie because Jean Grey, which also then started tracking things. Well, the hand started working for damage control or whatever.
Spider-Man beat that.
Like at the end of Defenders, if I recall, they end up being taken and then start working for damage control. When Jean Grey gets in there and starts fucking shit around, which I thought was crazy. This whole actual fight supposedly is like her controlling the hand, not just the hand fighting. She's controlling it, which I didn't pick up on when I first watched it. I thought they were just fighting. I mean, she was like somewhat making them do it, but like not actually controlling them.
But this is going to give an example. Like, she had 1 kilometer around the building, all in New York City, basically completely frozen, and she was controlling the hand all at the same time, and still able to talk and do whatever she was doing it while in the midst of it. So like, they already showed that Jean is busted, but they can use this as a way to be like, okay, she's busted, and I gotta talk to Charles Xavier to try to put some walls on the brain.
It ain't your turn. That's why you got froze.
Trolled it all. I don't love you.
Hold on. Let me get my thoughts out. First of all, the nigga with the Spider-Man shirt on, with the Spider-Man poster back here, feels unseen and unheard, and I feel unvalidated because somebody said, "Let me hear somebody else's thoughts." And he didn't even see the movie, and you skipped over it. That just invalidated my motherfucking thoughts, nigga. And I don't.
You was here. You talked for 12 minutes.
I don't feel heard. I don't feel heard, and I don't hear you. Now go ahead.
I heard you, Joe.
You was talking for 12 minutes.
I said it's your turn.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
It's your turn to feel unheard. Now go. It's your turn. You
First off, Monte said, Zell, your thoughts, and I said I want to hear Cam thoughts. So
no, he didn't say
that's what happened, sir.
I'll talk to the host.
I relinquished my time. What are you talking about?
Relinquished my time.
Yes, so now it's my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah. It can be your turn now. Yeah, it can be your turn. It could be.
Listen.
Go ahead.
How did nobody talk? Zendaya told this man, "I don't love you," and he paused and he stuck there.
We ain't got there. We ain't got back to that.
I mean, well, we can go through all of that. Don't matter.
And by the way, we go. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. He accidentally left the letter out, and she like, I saw some people confused. Because they said Zendaya's name wasn't on it. MJ's name wasn't on it. But she asked him specifically, "Was this meant to be left for me?"
Because
and he responded, "Yes, because she's smart." And then she went through the whole thing, which led us to believe, oh, she's gonna remember something. And then she hit him with that, "I see why she loved you." And I said, "Oh my God, she finna do it. She about to do it. She about to do it." She like, "She loves you. I don't know you, therefore I don't love you." And I said, "Oh," and my boy just stuck. And then she walked away. And of course, in Disney, fashion, she had to be like, "I have no way home." And that, hey, that web slinging back home, that little slow, that slow web slinging, the one at a time, was so hurtful, dog. It was just one at a time. It was just, and in slow mo. It wasn't even music.
Oh man,
it wasn't even music playing. It was just silence.
Can I say something about that scene though? I'm not 100% sure that was all real, because at the end when you see her, she's on the roof, the same roof that we all know about, that we've seen in multiple movies or whatever, and she has a smirk. And so I don't know if it was her slowly realizing it or she's smirking because she's glad, but she's teaching him a lesson because he lied to her.
The rumor is that right now the thought is Jean Grey put their memories back a little bit.
Okay. Well,
and then she had it because when she was frozen, she had a tear in her eye. So people are saying Jean did something to her.
My only question is, does this clear Spider-Man 2?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that later. That's another part of this, and I ain't forgot about that. But the other part I will explain about the end part, because there's a lot, and I mean I've looked a lot of discourse about the two ending scenes. Because one, Jean says during this same rooftop scene when she was in her brain, "Oh, there's really nothing of you in here." Yes. So she verbatim said that there's no memory of him there. So people are already speculating, because at the end of the movie, Zendaya's sitting on the rooftop and she's clutching the necklace that means something to both of them, but she's not supposed to have no memory. So people are theorizing whether she had.
But Jean remembers. But Jean's seen Peter memories, so she knows the story.
So that's one part, and then another part is the whole handshake at the end where he says Peter and somebody Ned at the end. There's a lot of discourse online. So believe what you want to believe, but there's a lot of discourse online about whether they have any memory or not of Peter by the end of the
movie. Yeah, because they said Peter, Doctor Strange's spell may not have affected muscle memory. So certain things could have, done it, but then there's also, slowly come. Did it slowly start? Did the spell slowly start to break down on its own within their close proximity and interactions with each other? Did Jean Grey give the memories back? Because you can see when he first walks in, and that's why I'm leaning more to either the spell dissolving or like their friendship being stronger than the spell, or like it's slowly coming back with interaction. Because when he first walks in, he does not recognize him still or whatever. He introduced himself. He says his name is Peter, and then he remembers him from the party. People kept saying that when he said Peter, they remembered his voice from when he was dressed as Spider-Man, but they don't imply that. They actually
But they also, you gotta remember, Peter was also insinuating Spider-Man because she said his name is Peter.
Yeah.
So when MJ said Peter's Spider-Man, I mean, that's a Parker.
The reason I don't think that's it is because when he first says Peter, he said, "Oh yeah, the Peter that we met from the party."
Yeah.
He mentions the party specifically. So I don't think that's what it is. I think once the handshake started,
I'm talking about when he was Spider-Man, Zendaya called him Peter, and she's like, "Spider-Man name is Peter."
Yeah, they said it right when he left the two of them children.
Right, and I'm saying I know that, but that is before the final scene with him and Ned. When he introduces him as Peter, he doesn't recognize his voice from when he was under the mask as that being Peter. He specifically mentions the party, that he had just met him at the party.
Flower guy.
towards that part.
But
Now, do I think that once he did the handshake and then put two and two together? Yes. But I don't believe that when he first introduces him as Peter, he puts two and two together.
and can we talk about the other crazy thing that happened? Jean Grey Sadie Sink threw a man into a taxi. And
yeah, that was all I said. Gene was dark. Gene was dark in this. I don't know
and people have speculated that Jean Grey comic book character would never do that. And I'm here to tell you, you are in lie. She will do something like that if she is pissed off. If she is mad about something and she's searching for something, she will do horrible things. She will eradicate a
Trust and
planet.
believe. I need y'all to know that the Dark Phoenix is only part Phoenix Force. That is acting off of her emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she is, she will eliminate. Matter of fact, she told Iceman she outed him as gay. Like she does anything when she's angry. Listen, she will read his mind and outed him. Oh, he's gay. That is so saying that it's not in her character. Before she meets Professor Xavier to throw a man into a taxi to piss off Spider-Man from leaving her alone so she can find out her sister, she would 100% do that. Wait till y'all figure out what Cyclops really is, because y'all seem to not know what X-Men are. Y'all like X-Men are the good. I'm like,
we'll wait.
Cyclops might be the villain.
We'll wait.
Also,
I'm just saying, you will see X-Men aren't the perfect image of Superman.
We're just gonna
Spider-Man.
wait. We don't want. I told you we done with that. We don't want people.
I ain't saying we done. Wait. We saw her in this movie throw a man into a car.
Let people watch the movie, man.
Yeah, she threw a person into a car.
You was wrong with the MCU. You was wrong with the MCU. Stop telling people what to look forward to. Let's
what are you talking about? I'm telling you that she threw a man into a car in this movie. We saw it. It happened.
Cyclops is not in the MCU. So
I know we don't know what he's gonna do in it. I'm saying you that the X-Men are capable of doing these things that they are doing. She threw a man into a street to get hit by a taxi. X-Men are capable of that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're gonna do in the MCU. I'm seriously doubt Disney will let them do some of the stuff Cyclops did.
I will tell one announcement that I did see while I was doing stuff in this movie. X-Men did announce one other person after this movie.
Oh, she's amazing, by the way.
That Samara Weaving will be Emma Frost. It's already letting you know that the triangle of Cyclops, Emma Frost, and Jean Grey is going to be unstable as fuck. Because please believe it's getting real toxic. And y'all talk about y'all don't know what Jean going to do. Oh, you have no idea what these two girls do.
Shout out to X-Men 97. I'm not spoiling.
They are dark. These two are dark. I will tell you now. So this finna get weird, wild, whatever. But we will give.
I don't want people to understand what X-Men aren't Superman and Spider-Man.
No,
they will do heinous acts if maybe.
But Zell, your ranking 1 to 10 from this movie.
I give it a 9. That Spider-Man scene gave 9.5. The Spider-Man scene at the end when the little kid did the Spider-Man thing and he smiled made me so happy that I gave it a 9.5 from a 9.
9.5 out of 10. That is a high flyer. Unico.
And I never get movies I rank. I try not to.
1 to 10. Your ranking of this movie.
I'm as it stands, and as a stand, I'm going 10, and it can only get higher, and it can only go lower from here.
Dang.
I'm setting the bar as far as Spider-Man movie or MCU.
Just the movie. I don't.
Yeah, just the movie in general. Just the movie in general. I'm giving it a 10. It was a perfect movie.
Dang.
That little kid scene got me. That hooked me a little bit. I'm sorry. That was dope.
I mean, what it is. And also watching on the screen, I just want to say, if you gave me that lady's name, I would automatically imagine her as some curly-haired mixed girl.
Oh no, this is
mixed girl.
If you see what Samara is like,
the Ready or Not
does not get blue-eyed blonde hair.
Yeah, she's in some other stuff. I forgot what other stuff she's in, but this is a good casting, just look-wise. She looks.
It does. This is a good casting.
Yeah, she looks exactly like her.
She looks like
a good casting.
This finna get toxic. Like her as Emma, and then her as Jean. Oh, this finna.
Wait. Let's get back to the ratings.
Don't worry.
Jean looked like she was going through it.
Miss Moonbeam, your ranking 1 to 10 of this movie.
I'm gonna give it a 9, and I really could lean to 9.5, but I just felt like for it to be so I got a question before I give the ranking that'll help me out. So because I had to go to the bathroom a couple times during the movie. I had a lot of Red Bull that day. I was watching 2 movies. I had a movie run. I watched that and The Odyssey. So I think one of my issues, and I'm not sure if maybe I missed it, one of my issues is for that to be one of the main, like the first entrance of a mutant in the MCU, because the Deadpool stuff didn't count, right? Or they never called them mutants,
Well,
right?
Miss Marvel is officially the first mutant in the MCU.
Yeah, Miss
Right,
Marvel
but
is officially
but we don't find that out until the show. And so if you didn't watch Miss Marvel, which I did not, because y'all give us too many goddamn shows with characters that I don't.
I
really
love
care
Miss
for.
Marvel. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm sorry.
I heard it was good, but I also heard they changed their power some, like, you know.
They have,
but
but I
anyway,
don't have a problem with it. Yes.
right.
Carla.
They try to keep it from Mr. Fantastic, make it different.
So let's just say, okay, I'm gonna completely exclude that, because I feel like there's a good probably 50-50 chance that you've seen it or you haven't seen it. So I would say the average person that's going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day has not seen Miss Marvel. So I'm not sure what exactly they explain in that. But let's say in this, I felt like for it to be the first iteration, like the first intro to it, they didn't really give us anything. And so the person that I went with, he said maybe it's because maybe she doesn't know that she's a mutant. Maybe she won't find out that she's a mutant until she meets Professor X. Because I felt like with her power, for instance, when I first saw her power and her power like soar, like when she, you know, rages out, finds out what's going on with her sister, all that shit like that. It's easy for us to automatically assume that that has something to do with either she is getting stronger, like on a whole nother level, or she's tapping into the Phoenix Force or whatever. But obviously we know later on, if you look at stuff online, that that's not the case. Supposedly she doesn't even use both telepathy and telekinesis. She only used one, and the power, and they never mention it by name. So I guess the reason why I feel like as a Spider-Man movie, it's a 9.5, could even be a 10. As a Spider-Man movie that's introducing one of my favorite groups in the MCU and one of my favorite characters in the MCU, I felt like I didn't feel super connected. And I felt like if it wasn't for the fact that I was someone that researched outside of already knowing what I know within the comics, I would have been confused with what her powers are. Because
Okay, the reason I'm thinking the reason they didn't want them to use mutants was because I don't think they didn't want Sony to be the first one to use the words mutants. They already, even though technically they used it in Miss Marvel, because the ending played the X-Men song and called her a mutant at the end. But I don't think the first movie iteration, I don't think they wanted Sony to have that title yet, because they got a movie that's pretty much gonna be called mutant.
See, then that's something that bothers me, though, because you're introducing a whole new thing that's never really been done accurately. It's never really been done accurately or whatever. Out of the whole Marvel everything, I feel like they hope the X-Men damn near the most outside of Black characters with their own shows, but that's another episode. Shout out to Wonder Man.
Wonder Man, great show, by the way. Emmy nominated.
Shout out to Wonder Man. They be hoeing us. But anyways, so I just felt like,
still working out here.
I don't know. I didn't think that was a good intro. And maybe, and I don't know if I'm leaning towards like the fact that it's like that storyline, that origin story. And this is what I hate, like picking bits and pieces of specific stories. That origin story is better with what her sister becomes. Now, I don't know if we're going to find out that her sister's actually alive later on or whatever, but it doesn't, based off of this movie, it doesn't look like it. But in the comics, like her sister becomes a beacon for the Phoenix Force. That's what Jean makes her in order to save her. So which opens up loads of possibilities, and it could also lead it could have been either another lead into Cyclops getting whatever. I'm not going to go too far into whatever, but I don't know.
Dirty man.
9 for me because they included Jean, and I didn't love her origin story. It would be a 9.5. It probably would have been a 10 if they gave me her original origin story, like the one that we're all used to, and then just did it better. Or actually, the better iteration that they could have did that we haven't really seen is when she fucking reads the mind of her childhood friend and she's dying, and that fucks her head up. Like that could have that's when we haven't seen. It explains a lot of shit, so you don't have to go down that road later on. Like, I personally, I'm gonna give it a 9.
To some of that, I agree with a lot of it, but at the same time, I get why they didn't, because again, they wanted her to use certain terms. They also wanted her to get a the Marvel Girl colors, which is the green and yellow scrunchie, instead of just gray. So the green and yellow scrunchie is why she becomes Marvel Girl. So I don't know if they're gonna start off with Marvel Girl first and then go on to X-Men and meet Professor Xavier. I don't know how they're gonna do that yet. It's a lot that they gotta figure out.
But online, people are saying blue and yellow is in the X-Men colors.
You know what I'm starting to get? You know what I'm starting to realize?
It was green. It was green and yellow. We looked at it. It's green and yellow. I had to look it up, but yeah, it was green and yellow for the
first night because I watched it on Thursday. So I was looking at videos Thursday night, Friday morning, and that's a lot of the commentary. But can we get to the after credit stuff now?
Yeah. After I say this, I think I know what's wrong with the people, with viewers of. If y'all don't mind, I'm sorry. With viewers of the MCU, y'all niggas is wrestling fans. I'm starting to get it. Y'all always talking about what's gonna happen next, where the right direction gonna go, and all that type of stuff, and taking.
Well, they kind of played into it with that.
Just enjoy yourself.
That is a storytelling thing. That is someone that appreciates storytelling. And you're using something that has a source material. This is not original content. So yes, people can sit there and look at what the base format is supposed to be and try and figure out how they do it. Guess what? When Marvel has a tendency to not follow canon, their movies are shit or mid at best or whatever, and we take it as a great.
Well, Love and Thunder's Love and Thunder.
But are they?
Love and Thunder on the third one.
Are they
for our own shit, and so we settle for mediocrity. I believe that in order to get good storytelling and consistent movies, so we don't get Love and Thunder again, is to sit there and talk about that. And I promise you, if you think that the writers and producers and directors aren't listening to the commentary online, you're crazy. Do they listen to everything? Do they follow everything? No, but they listen to that, and I believe that sometimes helps direct them in the right fucking way. I believe that type of discourse and discussion is necessary to continue to improve the art. People don't talk about. People just be giving. That's why I respect Zell for not giving high ratings just for the fuck of it or whatever, because people like to just throw that out there. Sometimes things we love it for nostalgia. A part of your rating is because of nostalgia. You even said that. It's your pinnacle Spider-Man. And so that is a portion of it. That does not mean that the story was a complete, a well-rounded. I felt like the Jean aspect of it and her origin story affected the continuity of the story. It felt sometimes out of place. And I am saying this as a lover of X-Men and a lover of Jean Grey, that if I know nothing about Jean Grey, because remember, we're all 30 plus years old. We've all been reading comics since we were kids. We've all been watching X-Men shows since we were kids. We have X-Men action figures, all types of shit. I got a photo of Storm right in front of me or whatever. However, so I feel like, but you got to remember, half of the viewership right now, or less than half, only knows the MCU.
I would say
only know the MCU.
There is a 13-year-old who don't know shit.
I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm just glad that we have a seat at the table or whatever. You're pandering to new audiences and children or whatever, when the people that made this fan base, people like all of us, are 30 years old and would like to see what we read on the page on a screen. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think that, I think that you because people have the discourse with something that you love, it's like, oh, y'all just want to know what's next, what it's building up to. Hell yeah, especially when you're pulling inspiration from really big stories. I expect you to deliver. You don't get to sit there and tease Battle World, Secret Wars, Doomsday, Miles Morales. You don't get to do all of that and then leave us hanging. And you know that if you were watching any other medium outside of Marvel, you would feel some type of way about that. If you were watching anime and they built you up, how many times have we talked about the amount of times that we've seen, like, for instance, a power up or a transformation that we never see again. And then later on, we talk about how it was the most useless transformation and we wish that they never gave it to us because they never gave it back to us. Or they never went down, they never went to the next level. Blah, 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 blah. That this is what happens, especially when you're dealing with source material.
Okay.
You don't get to just pick and choose whatever and then not hear the fans that made you famous. Because I don't never want to forget. I don't want anyone to ever forget. These actors from Marvel, these producers, these writers, all of that. Some of them were famous beforehand, but y'all are on a whole nother motherfucking level off of the backs of the fans and the creators of the original story. And they should be respected and they should be a part of the conversation. Because guess what? If we all decided, hell nah, this is bullshit, and we didn't go, then they wouldn't have no motherfucking movies. And we've proven that. They've proven that when you do not do right by the source material, there is backlash. And you can take liberties. I've always said this. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of characters or whatever. Splitting and taking pieces here and there is sometimes necessary. Switching around a character's power a little bit is necessary or whatever. But then when you look back, especially with the X-Men, because like I said in the last episode, Spider-Man, in my opinion, in every iteration, is the only other movie outside of Batman as a superhero that I feel like can do no wrong.
Spider-Man, Batman sales no matter what. They can put out the worst movie ever.
No matter what, you just need to make a decent cinematic movie, and we are going to eat it the fuck up. That's why we said last time when you were asking what we needed out of that Spider-Man movie, we were like a solid Spider-Man movie. Give us the Spidey moves, give us a little nostalgia, and do what y'all always do because it works. However, X-Men is the complete opposite of that shit.
Okay.
X-Men never really does well and is never well received by people. And so when you're bringing the X-Men back in, and y'all been talking for years that, oh, Sony ruined X-Men and blah, 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 or whoever the fuck had an X-Men first, and now we're going to do it properly, then do it the fuck properly. Don't be Trump promising low gas prices.
Hold on. All right. So out of respect for Monterey's show, I'm not going to rebuttal. I want to say that I appreciate your perspective from that side of the fence, that one perspective as a super fan. I respect that. I'm not going to rebuttal. We can move on.
They could have. I'm not gonna lie. They could have did it better, and it's probably the reason it's not a 10 for me. It's cause of Jean Grey's scene.
I made it.
But I'm gonna tell you something. It's not always how you. Sometimes it's what you say. Sometimes it's how you say it, and sometimes it's a little bit of both. There's something about your personal perspective when you can go on Google and you can just go to a convention and sit down with comic book heads and ask them genuinely how they feel about let's not even use the MCU.
I got you. I'm telling you, there's a back and forth to have. I just feel like you're just going to get out your point right now. There's a real back and forth that we can actually have. I just feel like this ain't the space for us to do it. And for this, because you gave a very good. Your perspective was great. That soliloquy was great. What I'm saying is there is another side to things, such as there is somebody that was born in 2015 right now that didn't buy every magazine in the 80s and 90s and all that type of shit. Yes, there is compendiums and all that type of stuff. There's a whole different. We can go down that rabbit hole. I just feel like this might not be the arena for it. And I just, out of respect for Monterey's show, I'm good on my.
But I do want to say this: Sadie Sink was amazing in this movie. I do want to say
she was amazing.
Even though I do agree with Moonbeam that I can see where they want to go with it, but they gotta nail the next part. They gotta nail the next part.
Then that goes back to what Joe says. We see where they want to go,
but they gotta get it out the park the next part. If they fail at it, it's gonna kind of look weird.
That obviously causes questions because you don't know what they're doing. They didn't really state anything straight up like out the gate in terms of anything X-Men. Even her going to Xavier's school, you know that shot because you've seen that shot both in the comics and in the previous movies where it leads up like that and then you finally get to the manor. So if you've seen it, then you know. But guess what? I bet you there's a bunch of people that have no idea what that place is. It just looks like trees. And so they didn't specify anything. So I feel like it was like the ultimate tease. It was like, we're giving y'all X-Men. Y'all don't know well, we're giving you this. If you know, you know. And now you just got to sit and wait and hope that we don't do how every other X-Men movie has done since the first one.
The actors so far hit out the park. And apparently they're going to get Ryan Coogler. We're going to get Denzel and Ryan Coogler together, and then we're going to get Storm. Apparently Storm, they letting Ryan Coogler pick Storm because Ryan Coogler do all black stuff for movies now. Because I guess Kevin Feige gave up on black people, except so like Ryan Coogler got all black stuff.
Hey, have you seen Mr. Sitting online about Blade? Ooh. He is not happy.
Ryan Coogler, apparently he said Ryan Coogler picking Storm because apparently he didn't gave up on black stuff and let Ryan Coogler do all black things. Everything black related, Ryan Coogler handles now.
That's also a commentary online about like, first off, it seems like they can only do one black character successfully without throwing the other ones out, and then all the black projects are just held by one black person, which I personally I love that we have representation, but I also feel like it doesn't stop there. Like, a director is still a director. They have a specific style, whether it's writing, the way they shoot things, and those things evolve and people become, great and then evolutionary, or good and then great or whatever. Like, I feel like it's going to limit our perspective in the storytelling if Ryan does all of the black characters.
He picking Storm apparently.
Well, on the other hand, though, I do think that they would be great for continuity. Yes, because I feel like if you have one person doing it, then you can make sure that those storylines connect. But the way the MCU likes to do black characters in general, I don't necessarily think it'll matter how good it does or if Ryan's behind the helm, if they personally don't want to keep it.
Well, Ryan got didn't he get a new $1 billion deal for like 4 movies now?
I don't know.
They announced something at this kind that he got a new deal for 3 movies. And then when they announced the Black Panther movie, Mara, you can correct me because I've been out of the loop, but I saw it
right now. But Moonbeam, what is your final grade for the movie?
Like A, B, C, D.
I mean, number.
It's a 9.
Right.
Like, you know what? I'll be generous and say 9.5.
That little kid got me to a 9.5. Not gonna lie.
Crazy that
the thing is, that moment, I don't know why it hits you so crazy because we see damn near the exact same moment in a Toby film.
Like, we do, but I don't know why this would hit more. I believe
it hit more because he was all sad and broken down. When Toby does it, smiling, and it's a whole parade or whatever, it's actually really depressing. Actually, that moment was somewhat sad because it was like, damn.
But like, Tom learned that Peter learned he's not alone. And he felt alone for years. That everybody in the city came up and showed up for him to love him.
It's just like the whole movie it definitely had emotional moments. Like if I wasn't cried out this year, I probably would have cried. But
for me, I'm actually surprised I'm gonna have the lowest score out of everybody.
No, actually, I'm staying with a 9.
This movie's an 8 out of 10 for me. I don't give a lot of perfect grades or nothing either. I do think this is a great movie. This is a good movie. A lot of the emotion does hit and things of that nature. But for me, the only major gripes I can have on the movie, one, the movie is long. I'm not gonna say like the movie's not a long movie. It's like 2.5-ish hours, and the first half of the movie
2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You watch this and I sit back to back. That's a long day.
I went outside and smoked 2, and then
like the whole shit.
And I came on back in.
But it's not bad. Like the first half.
I said 3 hours.
The first half of the movie is.
I'm gonna be real too. I want to say that the Odyssey may have even slightly affected my grade because when I finished the movie, I was like, "Oh, I love this," and stuff. And then I thought about the Jean Grey thing then. It wasn't until I watched the Odyssey, especially that moment when they're first entering Troy, and it's just nothing but like tense music, crazy shots. When I tell you my heart didn't stop beating at like I guarantee that if I had my Apple Watch on, it would have notified me that my heart rate was too high.
Christopher
Because
Nolan's amazing.
for like it was like 3 minutes long of like this like 2 minutes of this like scene where I did not stop, and I leaned over to the person that I was with, and I was like, now that is how you build something up. Like from start to finish, I never felt like there was a stopping point. Even when there were moments with him just like sitting chatting with Calypso, I was like, damn, like everything there's, and I've read the Odyssey. So it's like I'm not even surprised by this, and I'm still like, hey, yo. And the shots, everything about this movie, about Spider-Man Brand New Day, did exactly what I wanted it to do, and then some, aside from what I was expecting, and that's on me too, because I try not to go into movies with expectation, but I kind of always do when the X-Men are involved. So I'm still sticking with a 9, but I felt like there were moments in this, just like he said, it's a long movie. And so I guess there were times where I wouldn't say dead air, because I feel like that's like strong, but it just didn't, the momentum stopped and went and stopped and went. And half of the movie was just straight up melancholy, which I love because I'm here for trauma building character and whatnot. But I don't
First
know.
thing is Tom Holland in both of them movies. That's amazing. That's amazing streak you on right now, sir.
Okay. And let me tell you something. And I would honestly say that he was great in the Odyssey. I would actually personally say he was better in the Spider-Man movie. And it was probably because he's grown and adapted this character since he was a teenager. So I definitely, even though I feel like Odyssey was the better movie, I feel like Tom Holland's performance was better in Spider-Man. And I think that this was a great full circle moment, because I felt like this was the first time, because we always talk about with Spider-Man movies, oh, one was a better Peter, one was a better Spidey, or whatever. I feel like this movie finally showed us like, okay, he's Peter, he's Spidey, he's grown, he's a man now, or whatever, and he's dealing with real life shit. And I love that, because we all know that the MCU ain't as lighthearted as people like to make it. It ain't as dark as DC, but it gets fucking dark. And damn near every character has like some crazy backstory or something that happens. So I think that they did a great job of showing us his character development over the 4 years, his power development, his emotional transformation, his physical transformation, and even going from, I think that this movie, it also brought him back a little bit to humanity in a way too, because he no longer has Tony and stuff. I like that he got like this older brother / father figure in the Punisher. Like I love this. I really do love it. Like nostalgia wise, I love it. Do I like this better than all 3 Spideys in a film? I don't know. I don't think I do.
Get to that part, but I was saying, for me, it's an 8. Like I said, the first half of the movie is relatively slow. So it's like unless I'm invested in Peter's emotional baggage and stuff, it's a little hard for me to stay engaged for that. But once they get to probably like Punisher and Hulk in that building, from there everything just goes crazy. Or even if I get to the point where, from there onward, everything is just like probably just grade A and everything. But so it's a little slow on that end. The antagonists, however you want to call them, the combination of them for this movie, they're a bit hit or miss. It just depends on how I look at it. Like, yeah, I love Jean. I love the role that she played in the movie. But, having old boy being the mutant person, like he didn't really it wasn't really nothing I got much from him. You were just mostly like a purpose for Jean to get upset and things of that nature, which is fine. But it's like, I ain't really get that. The hand sort of was on there to be the main Spidey fight for something for us to watch. But they didn't really add a lot of overall glory to the movie other than just being something for him to fight, which like I'm cool with. But just
which I want to say this. You reminded me of something. I hated that because remember in the last episode I talked about how the hand moves in the shadows and really is at the underbelly of a lot of shit that goes on in the MCU or whatever. And they didn't really explain who the hand was or whatever. And I think the reason I keep saying that is because I understand that not everybody is a comic book reader. Not everybody has been exposed to the hand or whatever. So I feel like the fact that we see them and we're supposed to be a big fight, and then we find out that the whole time she's controlling them, like this is not like we don't even like it has nothing to do with them really.
So yeah, like
Or at
those
least
are like the little bit of
I
nods.
don't like that.
And then like every bit like the film is humorous. Most of the jokes there are some that just like but it is what it is. Like majority of the movie is fine. I don't have any problem. I think it's a great movie overall. Like I said, just a few nitpicks why I don't think it's like a 9 or a 10. No, but I think it's an 8. I think it's a great movie. Like once you get past like the little bit of the slow crawl from the start and you just go, like once they go, it's a wrap. Like so I was happy.
Yeah,
like
I would say that the minute she jumps and that person hit that taxi is on and popping after that. Like I was locked in by then because the stakes escalated. But everything before that was just more nostalgia and
I'm with it, but like I said, I'm with it, but just like I really like it's like a bit of a slow crawl. Like once we get to the building where they have to deal with Jean, from that point onward, we're good. Like, or just whichever way you want to go. Once they get to the building and like, all right, cool. But like until it's a bit of a slow crawl and like some of the characters didn't add much to the overall film or the glory of it. But outside of that, I think the movie's great. So I think that, but this does move into the last thing that we are bringing up because people are talking about whether it's ahead or below. So big discourse online, at least among fan stuff, is where does this movie rank overall in the entirety of the Spider-Man mythos when it comes to these other movies? I've seen a bunch of different rankings for people with Spider-Man movies. They have this movie all over the place. Some people have it as high as the second best movie. Some people have it as middling of the package. Some people have the third best.
Someone had Spider-Man 3 at number 2. Pisses me all the way.
And some people have it even at the bottom, like just right above the last two. So it's just,
3 cannot be number 2 in your list.
So it's like I've seen a lot of different rankings, lists, and things. So I would extend this to the crew of people that are here. What is your rank? Because now we do have 11 Spider-Man films among 3 different franchises that have started, or 4 actually, if you can exclude Miles. What is your ranking of the Spider-Man films? These are all.
How many of them?
There are 11. There is the original Tobey Maguire area with Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. There's Andrew Garfield with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Tom Holland's with 4 of them, with Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, and Brand New Day. And then, of course, you have Miles Morales' animated ones, which are Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. What is your ranking of these 11 movies? Unico Williams, you are welcome to go first.
Okay. So my number one, because for whatever reason, I don't know why I wasn't prepared for this question, but here we are. Subject to change with thought. So I'm gonna go this one. Quote unquote, Brand New Day. So we're gonna go Brand New Day.
1?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
It could be recency bias.
No, I'm not mad at it. I'm just surprised.
It could be recency bias. I just feel like this was the most accurate. And to your point, that's the Peter Parker that I like, which I like that a lot about Tobey. So I'll get to that. My number 2 is going to be Across the Spider-Verse. I really like that movie. Number 3 is going to be Spider-Man 1. Tobey Spider-Man 1. Tobey Spider-Man 2. Tobey Spider-Man 3? I don't know. Let me think about Tom Holland era, because I'm getting into that gear. Because I like that. I really like I can't remember which one it was where he was giving a speech about like Spider-Man quit. And everybody needs Spider-Man and he's looking for Spider-Man. Hector's looking for Spider-Man. Anyway, then I guess I can get into, I think I'm gonna go No Way Home. I'm gonna go No Way Home. Then I'm gonna go Far From Home. Let me get into Andrew Garfield with Amazing Spider-Man. Homecoming. I'm gonna have to watch these all again, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I can give you a top 3, but
you're fine. No problem.
Let me get that Into the Spider-Verse, and then we can round out with I guess Homecoming and Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
The look
I'm-
on
that's-
Moonbeam's hat is hilarious right
That's
now.
kind of where I'm at.
Was that? Did you feel like that was my emotion? Like,
Yes, I feel like that's your emotion. Right now.
that's
It's
so
hilarious.
funny. That's
This
so
Moonbeam,
funny.
you can
That's
go.
again. That's just looking at it. I'd have to really just sit down. I could
I
have a
understand.
better
Yeah,
answer.
let me grab a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, like this is just straight off the dick. So
Oh my
Here, leave this
gosh.
up. Let me
But
see
no
what.
I've
problem.
literally never said that in
You
my
can
life.
go on and move
Why would I
past
say
this
that?
one because I'm not even listening to motherfuckers.
I just gave the one that had them all listed. It's just that's why I was more or less doing because all them other listings.
Oh, I thought you had another one that had them all listed. Just not.
Oh, I have like 3 of them. Yeah.
I can take
Three
like maybe this bounce
I'm
off.
just
This is a better list.
they did what I did for the.
I think that's a better list. To
Well, I
like
don't
for me to
mind giving
bounce
my
off of.
ranking second to give Miss Moonbeam a little chance. I don't mind giving mine second. I think the first 2 are going to be the Miles Morales movies. I think those movies are damn near perfect. Like those are some great Spider-Man movies. So I'll probably say Across the Spider-Verse 1, Into the Spider-Verse 2. I'm torn between Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home being 3. Yeah, No Way Home is full of nostalgia. It's full of some good moments. It's a little bit rocky at the beginning, but it's full of some great moments. But I think I'm gonna go Spider-Man 2 for the third one. I think that movie is just it's everything I wish a Spider-Man movie could be for live action and stuff. Kirsten Dunst is probably the only reason why I don't like it somewhat because I still can't stand her sometimes in some of these roles in the movies. But it is what it is. But otherwise, I'm gonna go Spider-Man 2 for the third one. I think I go No Way Home for 4. Just because once Green Goblin turns on everybody, it goes crazy from there, and just had to get through the first part, which is still straight. So I'm gonna go that for the fourth one. After that, it really gets kind of funky, because then it goes for like the first movies of all of their trilogies, all 3 trilogies, and from there, I'll probably go OG Tobey Maguire Spider-Man for 5. I'll probably do Homecoming 6. I can't stand the lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man. That's so stupid. I'm gonna go Amazing Spider-Man for 7.
The Lizard's 1, Electrode is 2.
Yeah, Electro is 2. Yeah, Electro is 2. Like I said, I'm gonna go the lizard. Like I do like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, his quips and how he walked. Like I said, just the lizard was just some of the story was just stupid. Like,
I'm glad you said that because I was about to put that in the wrong order.
All right, it's like some of the story was just stupid. From like, if the villains were better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2, we would in 1 and 2 we'd have been far better. But I'm gonna do Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 7. Far From Home can be 8 because it or 9, whichever one. Far From Home can be 8 because no, my bad, I forgot. Brand New Day can go at 5, right behind No Way Home. I think Brand New Day is a really good movie, just in general. So you can go 5 right there, and then 6 would be the OG Spider-Man, 7 would be Homecoming, 8 would be the Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then after that we can do. Oh boy, some of these movies are rough.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
But the last 3, which are the same 3 at the bottom, I ain't gonna hold you, boy. Them movies kill franchises almost. Far From Home can. Mysterio is so dumb, bro. Like, God dang.
That is like in there at my. I'm pretty sure that is my last one. I hate that.
I'm sorry.
I just did not like Mysterio at all.
Oh, now Spider-Man 3 can be 9 because Venom was bad, but the rest of the movie is not that well. Symbiote Spider-Man is a bit cringe, but the movie is bad. The movie is rough with Venom, but most of the other parts of the movie are not that bad. So I probably put actually Spider-Man 3 can be 8. And then Far From Home can be 9. Spider-Man, Far From Home can be 9. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 can be 10, and this Amazing Spider-Man 2 can be 11. I'm sorry, the Amazing Spider-Man, like I'm big on villains being good in their roles or doing what you're gonna do. That's me. I love good villains in like work and stuff that I'm watching. And the fact that Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2's villain arcs are outright horrible in both movies. Oh my gosh, they took me out, bro. Like the Lizard had a stupid storyline from what Kirk Connors was supposed to be in the first Amazing Spider-Man. And then you move in the second one, it's just Electro and New Goblin and everything just went so horribly wrong in that movie. That like
they try to do way too much in one movie.
And I love Jamie Foxx in movies, but golly, they ruined it. That Electro was so bad. Even the second Electro in No Way Home wasn't that bad. Like, he just, my God, boy, they missed some stuff in there. So, like, I think the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, they're going to be my 10 to 11 bad. Far From Home. Yeah, so that's my route for finishing off whatever. So, 1 is probably Across the Spider-Verse, 2, Into the Spider-Verse. 3 is Spider-Man 2, 4 is No Way Home, 5 is Brand New Day, 6 is the Homecoming. 7 is the OG Spider-Man Tobey Maguire. 8 is Spider-Man 3. 9 is Far From Home. 10 is the Amazing Spider-Man 1. 11 is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Those are my rankings.
Okay.
I cannot get with the freaking villainy in some of these. Like, and you see the same vibe. Mysterio, horrible villain wise. Lizard, bad villain wise. Venom, what about Hope
Is
and Dreams?
Lizard 1 or 2?
Huh?
Lizard is
Lizard
1.
1 or 2? Okay, because
Lizard is
he
in the
said
first one.
2 when
Lizard
he
in the first one.
named it, so that's what I was saying.
Yeah, the Lizard in the first one, Electro was in the second one. Like bad villainy will take me out of a whole movie, bro.
And
Okay.
just for the
I got
record,
mine.
this list right here, like that one on the screen, is probably a little bit closer to reflecting me. I wish I had went off of this list before instead of that one we was looking at before, because I was jumping all around. But yeah, but that's neither here nor there, and you can always rank them elsewhere, no doubt.
How was the Amazing Spider-Man in the
I
top
got mine.
3? Oh, that is crazy work. But to each
I got
their own,
one.
respect it. All right, Ms. Moonbeam, what is your ranking?
So number 1, I'm always going Tobey Spider 1. It was the beginning, so I'm gonna always put it at 1, just out of pure nostalgia and Nickelback. Okay, it was the whole time. Yeah, like I said, it's my thing. Number 2, I'm putting No Way Home because Spideys, all the Spideys. 3, Into the Spider-Verse. 4, Across the Spider-Verse. 5, Brand New Day. 6, Spider-Man 2. 7, Amazing Spider-Man 2, because I personally love Electrode. 8 is 8's Homecoming. 9 is Spider-Man 3. 10 is Amazing Spider-Man 1, and 11 is Far From Home.
Ooh, Far From Home.
I really, really, really dislike the Mysterio movie. It was so boring to me. I can honestly say I'm really trying to honestly say if outside of the very first time I watched it in theaters, if I've ever seen it in its entirety again. It's one of those movies that I would like to out of all the Spider-Man movies, I would like to forget that one the most. And Spider-Man 3 exists. So
for me, I think Mysterio is a way better villain if he's not the main villain in your movie. I think he works way better.
I agree. And I'm gonna be real, I hated his fucking costume. And this is one of my beefs. It's a personal beef as a cosplayer. I was just talking to someone. If you ever find your nicest TV in your room, like in your house, go put on the very first Avengers movie and tell me y'all haven't seen cosplayers do better work. And it pisses me off because they could just be hiring a bunch of craftsmen, and they could be giving a lot of nerds some jobs because the shit now one thing I can say is Spidey suits always look good. I do not always believe that their villain costumes look good, and I hated Mysterio's. When I tell you, it was just green, it was Thor's armor in Avengers, but green, and it looked cheap, and it looked fake, and it was really hard. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think he's an amazing, and I mean amazing actor. I've been watching him majority of his career.
What?
I could not take that. And I have looked at that man play all different types of characters, and I could not take that seriously at all. I was like, is he supposed to be scary?
But
am I supposed to fear his power? Because I'm not getting any of this.
Shout out to Respect 2. This Spider-Man movie, it has already eclipsed both Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's money made on all of their movies. Already, because that mug already has made over $900 million, and it's just Sunday. So we'll see what the first weekend ends up being, but the mug is probably going to cross $1 billion. So shout out to Tom Holland. You are going to be the defender of Spider-Man going forward, because they are not going to let you go with this. Absolutely not. So either way, shout out to the success of the Spider-Man franchise. It is still going. That is our review. That is our thoughts. And those are our movie things. These people can let you know where to find them if you are some beef with their opinions. Starting with Unico Williams. He's helping one person.
Hey, I'm your boy Unico Williams. You can catch me on Unico Williams on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and do a breakdown over there on my channel. And also we are going to do We are going to do a short about feeling heard on the internet and cyberbullying featuring Zell May. I will be clipping a clip from this part from this show. No, but it's just comedy. It's just comedic stuff. But yeah, man, that's where you find me. You and IQO Williams, man. I'm out here. We be out here. I'm not sure. Plenty of movie reviews coming up. I'm locked in. I'm moving with intention. I feel great. This is the best version of myself that I felt in a long time. So 100%. You gonna see a lot of me. So I'll keep it up, keep up the momentum for sure.
And then we have Miss Shigo Moonbeam.
You already know I'm your girl, Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam or Ebony_Moonbeam cosplay on all social media platforms. I'm an anime shit talker, real life shit talker, cosplayer, debaucherous, horror on occasion. Whatever you think I am, I'm that. Whatever you don't think I am, I'm that too, because I don't really give a shit. That's always been me. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I watched this and the Odyssey, and I am feeling a lot like Joe. Feeling like I'm getting back to who I am and stuff. So y'all are gonna also get some reviews from me on those two or whatever. If you want to sit down and record and have our little discourse or whatever, our little think piece, I'm down to have that with you.
Love to.
Goes around. And cosplay is coming. I've sent Mr. Otis East at Blur.com like 5 different articles. This is for you, sir. I know you're busy. Get to publishing, okay? And yeah, I'll be at LoreCon in Durham, North Carolina in September, which is Blur.com's inaugural Blurred convention. And what else? My birthday is officially in 21 days. And I'm going to ascend to a higher form of Moonbeam. So, sorry, not sorry. 36 is really hard to change your ways, you know? So once I evolve, this will be one of my final forms. Way over 9,000, just know. What else? Still playing Ghostwire. I'm getting down to endgame in Ghostwire, so be sure to check that out on TikTok and Twitch. On Thursdays, you can find me at Casual Conversations, casually conversing with AfroComic765 and Zell May. Then right after that, you can find me on TikTok under my name or on og.nene's page, because we are alternating pages for Respectfully We Need Therapy, which is a show where you ask us questions or give us random topics, random like a lighter, keys, whatever, pillows, and we'll tell you our most crazy, unfiltered story that aligns with said topic. And
run, save yourselves.
We have stories for everything. If you have not learned that from any show that I've been on. And then Saturdays, you can find me on Make It Make Sense, the podcast, which is this podcast. We normally have it on Saturdays. You can also find me normally on Sundays. We would be having the Mount Rushmore episode. Zell May is out for his birthday. Be sure to message Zell May on all social media and wish him a happy birthday. Actually, do one better. Subscribe to his shit. That's the best gift you can give a content creator for their birthday. And on Mondays, we do the House of the Dragon review. Same people, AfroComic765 and Zell May. I'm not sure if we're doing it because I know he's on his way back from his trip. But be on the lookout. If you see a flyer on my page, we will be doing that Monday. And that's all I got. My hair's green. It will not be green for my birthday. What color do y'all think my hair is going to be for my birthday?
I think her hair is going to be some mixture of bright red to orange. She is going to be the Phoenix taking out everybody in her rose of flames. Please run for your lives. This is a public service announcement. If you see the Ebony Moonbeam on her birthday weekend, if you get any glimpse of her, run like the hills, run for your lives. Otherwise, she will freeze you in place.
Actually, don't trust me at all this month.
She will freeze you in place like Jean did in the movie, and you may not be able to escape. So fair warning. Otherwise, this is your boy Marvin Hudson. Everywhere it says Marvin Hudson, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Of course, on this show, Make It Make Sense podcast. Make sure to go like, comment, subscribe. Look for this wonderful insignia on Facebook and YouTube, just to let you know where to find us. Thank you all for watching. This has been our great and wonderful review of that great movie. and to the future of the MCU, and we will see what else they pop out with the other shows and movie that will be out at the end of this year. Thank you all for watching. That is all I got. Peace to you all. Enjoy.